Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Mind Mesh podcast. And today we want to talk about a very interesting topic. And many of you have been wondering what has happened to the music industry of Kenya. A lot of stories here and there, artists lamenting everywhere. But then today I have a music sensation, Jay Slick.
Wagwan.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man.
So, Jay Slick, I
Yes,
believe
so-
that's your artistic name, yeah?
Yes,
Stage
yes.
name. So, I want you to tell our audience, a little bit about the music industry in Kenya.
All right. So first of all, thank you for hosting me. I really appreciate, man. I think this should be my first time or second on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I appreciate. Yeah, you're doing an amazing work.
Thank you.
yeah.
Uh,
So keep it up.
uh-huh.
I think I need to reintroduce myself for my fans,
Okay.
my audience.
Okay.
Yo, wananitanga J haka kamutu. Au sio? Yeah. Check me out on YouTube, J Slick haka kamutu. That's what you can search, and all my social media platforms. Yeah. So I think to answer your question about the music industry in Kenya specifically, because this is where we are, it concerns everyone, it concerns us. I would say it is a very tricky industry to get yourself into. First of all, because by the time someone starts or decides that they need to venture into the music industry, most of the people don't understand the business part, the commercial part of the business or the industry, and the talent part. Most of us start the music journey as a passion because you believe you have a talent, but along the way, how to commercialize that. Now, that is where we get a lot of hitches, a lot of hiccups, and so many challenges that many musicians face. And trust me, if you're not well guided, you can't make it. Rather, you might get to the limelight in a little bit, and then your light fades away. So, to just sum it up, it is an industry that requires a lot of time, a lot of resources, which in the current situation, the economy situation that we are facing, it's hard for even break even if you're investing in music. So it's a big challenge.
So there's something you touched there. You said, many people don't understand the concepts of music. There's the passion, you as the artist, then there's the business side.
Yes.
So typically, there's that young man
Yeah.
in the ghetto somewhere.
Yeah.
They are less educated on matters business, yeah, but they are so skilled. They have a talent in music, yeah.
Yeah.
So the music scene of Kenya generally. A lot of people from, I would say, from the ghetto are really hitting the waves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every developed artist currently has a background, back in the slum. So, talking of the correlation on them knowing when they're upcoming, knowing the business side and the talent side. So, how do you think they get to a point where, they become a hit, but then they quickly,
vanish and disappear?
Yeah, like they get lost somewhere.
You see, I'll tell you for free. Like I said, it's business. If you want to make it business, and if you want to make it a career for yourself, you want to make money out of this business that you're doing. So that's why most of the people don't understand the concept of commercializing this career and making money out of it. So when people are starting off as musicians, so there's the wave and the craving of becoming famous instantly, or maybe with time. You have to be patient at some point. But you see, it requires a lot of resources. Like I said, music requires a lot of money. You'd be fooled by someone telling you that I just made it without investing anything, unless that person was connected to another person who was already established or who was funding that process. If not, then that would be total lies.
So music needs money.
You need money, and not small money.
How much money?
A lot of money. Believe
How
me.
much is a lot?
A lot ranges, because we can do the breakdown. Let's break it down from the moment you want to go to the studio. So if you're going to the studio, you have to pay for your audio track, right?
Which is roughly how much?
Now, again, if you're looking at maybe having an advantage, an edge where you're just skyrocketing, you have to look for a good producer. A good producer will charge you between 20 to 30K
for an audio.
Yeah. If you negotiate, then it might come down to around 15 Gs. Imagine you're living in the ghetto, like you've said, most of the talents are from the ghetto. Believe me, for someone in the ghetto to raise 15 Gs,
it's a hassle.
It's a hassle, a big one. So tell me, how will these people ever penetrate in this industry? It's almost impossible, right? So it requires a lot of money. So you have to have connection, just like any other job where some people are connected to others. Someone has to hold your hand and take you to the next step and to the next level. So, and we're talking about 15 Gs. We've not spoken about the video of that song. Now, forget about even making that song. You've not even, because making the song, yes, you'll have the song. After having the song, you have the song and your video. The least you can do is upload it on your YouTube channel, because that is free. You've opened your YouTube channel, you upload it there. You can also post it on your social media platforms, etc. But how do you market that music to get to a bigger audience? You need to go to the radio stations for interviews. You need to go to TV stations, to podcasts like this, to reach more audience, to interact with your fans. Do you know? I don't know, this might come as a surprise. None of your music can be played in the Kenyan mainstream media without paying anything. Believe me.
Even in the TVs and radio.
Trust me, I'm the one telling you. I've been there. I know.
So they pay.
You pay. You have to pay.
You know me, I thought if your music is good and it has blown, the radio station just pick it up.
And how will it blow in the first place?
So you have to spend. That is where the spending comes.
Exactly. You see, you can have a very dope song, right? You've recorded a very dope song, but now how will you take it up out there in the masses? How will people get to hear, to listen to that music? You'll have to have marketed it somehow. Maybe through TikTok. Nowadays, at least we have an advantage, because you can create TikTok challenges here and there, and people, you might be lucky, people might pick that sound and start doing challenges with them. Yeah.
So if you say music needs money, you can't get to the big airplays without money.
You can't.
So there are thousands of artists outside here. So how sure are you that you, as a single artist, your return on investment is going to be worth it? Like you say, okay, music is all about money. I pay 15,000, another money to promote it, maybe on YouTube, or pay it to be played in a radio station. So how sure are you that if I spend this money as an artist, or any artist that wants to venture into this, that this money that I spend is going to bring a return on investment, that maybe my music will get to many listeners or viewers and so on and so forth? So is that determinant, or you just pay and hope for the best?
No. First of all, you see, it is a strategy. You have to have a strategy. That strategy includes having sort of a management that guides you as an artist, because you might not know what entails the whole music industry if there are no people to give you guidelines, people who understand the concept of the industry. Now, let's talk about that investment that you're talking about. Whether you're certain you're going to get an ROI out of it, whatever you're spending. Look, if you have a team that is working towards achieving and pushing you to the limelight, trust me, and they're investing well, you will get a return on that investment.
So they invest. You have a team, a management team. So are they the ones investing in you?
Of course.
So they
you have consider yourself from the ghetto. You have nothing. You literally have nothing. So you're riding on these people. But you see,
so they do everything.
They know, they understand the market.
You just bring your passion and talent.
You bring your passion, your talent. At some point, they'll also, within the team, there is a person who understands the art of making the music. So there are tunes and there are songs that you'll not be able to compose yourself. They'll bring in a team of people, composers and songwriters, to write for you, because they want to market this song to go to the next level. So they will not trust you with writing that song. And that is what happens even abroad in the US. Beyonce has a team of songwriters, Jay-Z, etc. So because they want to place a sure bet on you. So they can't afford to gamble with what they are doing.
Because they have invested in the ones that return.
Yeah. And you know what the flip side of that is? They can end up screwing you because you are less knowledgeable. So when the royalties come, now that is where the trouble begins. And that is why you find someone instantly became a hit sensation. Then after that, they disappeared. Why? Because the money comes in. Now they tell you, we are the one who are behind the scenes. We've put a lot of work and a lot of investment. So what do? 10 million has come. Now we have to check what we invested. And they're right on that because they've invested their money there.
Yeah.
So who are you to tell them, okay, look, guys, I'm a celeb now? No, they have to take their chunk.
Because they invested.
They invested their money there and their energy. So they have to take their chunk. So if they remove their chunk, which is about, let's say, 3 million or so, then the 7 million, now you have to subdivide accordingly based on the agreement that you put in place. Yeah. If you had a split sheet, then you agree. So my manager gets whatever percentage, and you're left with maybe a smaller percentage. You might end up getting taking home around even 1 million or 1.5. And this we are talking on the higher side.
Yeah. Because I remember there is this artist, Nigerian artist, Rema. You know Rema?
Yeah, I know.
There's this song, popular song, Calm Down.
Yes.
It was somewhere in the blogs that the song streamed in around 1 billion naira.
Yes.
When the management took theirs and everything, I think Rema remained with less than, I don't know, like 100 million naira, which is very, very less. And the song was so
it was popular. A massive hit.
Yeah, massive hit. You know, it prompted him doing a collab with Selena on the same. Remember?
Yeah.
So talking of that, so if you know, right now in Kenya, I would say there is no artist except Sauti Sol who has hit to the global stage, like, you know, the likes of Rema and Burna Boy.
Yeah.
So, and if that is the nature of business of the music industry, where you can make even 1 billion shillings, but then you end up going home with 20 M, the management and every other thing takes the rest. So, you know, how hard is it to, or how, you know, what are some of the measures that you can take as an artist or your management to really, you know, because you are the owner of the song.
Yes.
You can be as creative as enough to make a song that people are going to like. Yeah. So what can you do as an artist, or even through your management, to ensure that at least you, as the artist, you go home with something, you know, at least a chunk that you say, even if the management takes this, because I can't blow and then I just take like 10 or 5%.
You see, it's a good perspective to maybe get feedback from and about, because I'll tell you one thing, most of the artists are very gullible in nature. But tell me one thing, if today you were very hungry, right, and I tell you, look, I have a bag of chicken and chips and I need to offer you this. In exchange, all I want you to do is come and just clear bushes for me, or maybe cut the fence for me, etc. Work that could pay you a lot of money. In exchange, literally, it will be like just in exchange for food. You see, when you're hungry, your mind doesn't function. Yeah.
True.
it doesn't function because you're seeing that satisfaction, that instant satisfaction that you're currently being given. But as soon as you are full, as soon as your stomach is full, now you start recognizing, oh, I should have said this, I should have made this mistake. You get? And that is what happens in the music industry. At first, you are very hungry. That's why they offer you sweet deals, and you're like, look, I'll take whatever just to blow out. I'll take whatever. They take crazy money, like very little money, in the name of, I just want my name to be out there. But when the money starts checking in, my friend, it becomes a different story because the guy is full now. Now he can reason. Now he has come to his senses. Now he needs to rethink. Oh, this split sheet, no, it shouldn't have been this way. So now he comes to his senses. By the time he's coming,
initially it was there.
Initially it was there, and you signed. You see, these guys, it's a management, and you see they're investing their money. They also need to recover and to recoup whatever they've invested from the same. Now they approach you as an artist because they've already seen the potential. So they approach you as an artist and they tell you, look, this is the split sheet. We are willing to hold your hand to make you a big artist and then take you to that level. What do you do? Because you're hungry, you'll sign the split sheet. That split sheet, you might not even have a lawyer to guide you on which clauses are avoidable, which clauses are not. So what happens? Then you just end up signing because you really need money. And you're told, okay, your 30% or 20% will be equivalent to, if we calculate based on this arithmetics, you'll be taking home this much. You, as an artist who is very hungry, has never touched 100 G's. Then you feel, oh, this is enough to take me out of the block. You sign blindly. Later on, someone gets to you and tells you, look, you're being fooled. These guys are making millions. You're making peanuts. Then it hits you. Oh, shit. I should have considered this. So by the time you're coming to renegotiate this contract, it's still binding you. There's no escaping. So what do? You either decide quit music forever because you cannot continue making other people rich. That's what happens. Sometimes you see someone was in the limelight. They came, they disappeared. Because you find these people, by the time we are finishing this contract, all these guys will be millionaires and I'll remain a pauper. Then,
so that's why that's why some artists, is there like a scenario where artists manage their own self so that they recoup everything they make? Like say, of course, music wise, talent, there's a lot of talent in the people that are not so rich, not so having a lot of money. But then here comes a situation where somebody's a rich kid somewhere, but they have the talent, passion, and the talent. So is it possible for this rich kid to manage himself or herself, with their own money? Maybe their mother somewhere has the management aspect. Like the money stays within, you don't look for another team somewhere that will give you clauses of contract that are having the heavy cut and you get the smaller.
You see, that is possible because you already have the resources.
So it is something that happens.
No, listen. You're talking about maybe someone who has established themselves as an artist, so they have the passion. They have
I'm not talking about you've established yourself. Say you are born in a rich family. For instance.
Yes.
You have money.
Yes.
And you say you tried singing somewhere, but you realize you have a talent.
Yes.
You have the money. You don't need a manager.
All right.
So are there scenarios like that? Like
yes, there are
upcoming artists.
Yes,
who do everything for themselves and they recoup 100%.
No. It's impossible.
How?
Because one, yes, you have the talent and you have the money, but you don't have the connections.
See, but money buys connection.
Listen, let me tell you. Someone like Prezzo, right? Do you feel and do you think Prezzo made a lot of money through his music?
I don't know.
No. He didn't. And at the time Prezzo was hitting, he was spending a lot than what music was bringing in, because he wanted to brand himself. He had the money, not from the music, family money that he had, but he needed connection. So he had to have connections to get the shows, to get the DJs play his songs. Yeah, even DJs are other cartels that you have to pay to play your song
in the mix or in the clubs.
Anywhere, even in the clubs. Yeah, so guys who master and mix music that is distributed to clubs, to whatever, to matatus, you have to go and give them something, yeah, for them to play. So what I'm saying is, even when you're coming from a rich family, a rich background where there is money, you still need people. People will have to dig into your pockets to get out that money, because you'll not. Yes, you have the money, but for you to make it out there, you need people who are well connected. Yeah. So it is hard. It is hard to work alone. Yeah. Unless you establish an empire, or you're born in a family where your brother is a music producer, your other brother is a video director,
which is a rare scenario.
Exactly. Your other brother is a marketer, a media mogul, who understands the media industry, so they'll be able to push your music all through. So there has to be, all these people have to be intertwined in a family setup for you to thrive without your money going outside. Yeah. Which is a rare scenario. It's impossible to have such. Yeah.
So back to you now. So for how long have you done music?
I've done music since a time immemorial. Yeah, I'm the legend, the goat. And okay, saying that, I don't mean to portray myself as a successful musician, because I've not been thrown into that greater limelight. Yeah, I've seen the limelight, but not to the sense and to the level that I would have wanted. But my passion for music started way back when I was young, when I was a little boy. Yeah, even in high school, I never used to read. So guys were like, this guy, he's a gone case. So during preps time, when guys are revising, me, I was just there chanting hits. Actually, I wrote my first song. You see, I was just writing the lyrics on an imaginary instrumental in my head. Then I'm like, okay, then I write. I was in Form 1. Yeah, that's when I wrote my first song. It was a very shoddy song. I used to like it.
Why you calling your own song shoddy?
Because I was trying to be nasty. You get, during those times, you see, when you're vulgar and all that. Yeah, so I was trying to put some nasty lyrics and all that, just to appeal to my crew and my clique in the school. The name of the song was called Pussycat.
It was called what? Nice one.
The song was called Pussycat.
So you wanted to go all nasty.
I was going over. Man, you should. The lyrics now, because that is the title.
Where can we find this music? Is it somewhere?
No, that music was never recorded. It was just recorded in my book.
You still have it?
I think I have it somewhere. Yeah.
Do you have hopes of releasing it someday?
No. I can't release. Okay.
Maybe you go and refine it. You can
I could, but you see, for you to make a song, then there has to be a melody that appeals, that has a good appeal. Yeah, I believe by now that melody cannot be appealing. Yeah, I wouldn't make a song with that melody. Yeah.
So it is not appealing to this time.
yeah, I believe it's become obsolete. Yeah, it wouldn't be relevant. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the title though would be relevant. Yeah, I can work around Pussycat. Pussycat is the hairstyle that ladies normally put. Yeah. But now I was using that title and
To mean something
to
else.
coin it and to put it as a metaphor. Yeah, a metaphor for Pussycat.
So starting music, what has been your look? How have you managed to be relevant in this industry, and how hard or easy has it been for you in the Kenyan music industry generally?
Um, you see, when I realized there are so many cartels in this industry, in fact, I urge each and everyone who is watching this podcast, please just go and look in my YouTube channel. There's a song called Komesha. That song, I wrote it because of the hurdles, the boundaries, the obstacles that I found in the music industry. Yeah. It talks about the music cartels. So I was saying Komesha the music cartels. Yeah. Na makatel wa muziki komesha wanaofanya kukaliki komesha. Yeah.
So do you think the message is home? Are they getting the message? Is there a change since you released it? When did you release the song?
Around 2020.
And now 4-5 years later, do you think there's change?
You see, it's like we're still in Kenya. We've not migrated. Kenya is still the same. We still have the same leadership. We still have the same challenges. It's like fighting corruption in Kenya. Yeah. Every president corruption in Kenya. It's a fight that you can never win. So the cartels in the music industry is similar case to the corruption in Kenya. Yes, you put the word out there, but we need so many artists to talk and speak about the same. We have organizations, boards that have been formed to fight, to help artists fight against this mess, but you never see anything. Yeah.
So you still you think that music is still not handled professionally as it should?
It's not, because if you look at the boards that have been brought in to govern the musicians and the rights of the artists, now they put in front the what will I say? They want to eat first. Their interests at the forefront. You get? So when you put your interests at the forefront, so it means unless you are fully satisfied, then these people will never eat. So you have to eat your share first, and then you leave the artists scrambling for those crumbs while you've eaten the whole bread. So the artists are fighting for the bread crumbs over there. You've taken off with the whole loaf. So for how long will those artists keep scramming for those breadcrumbs?
So who do you think can really, you did a song,
Yes.
Komesha,
Yes.
and you wanted to drive a message,
Yeah.
and you would wish that whatever you said there should be taken into action.
Yes.
So which party or force or person do you think can really make the turnaround and make the music space safe and comfortable for everyone?
I believe MCSK has the potential, which is the body that governs the music copyright of musicians in Kenya. It has the mandate, but you see, it's not playing its role. I wish they came out and remunerated artists and protected them the way they are supposed to, and even not the way they are supposed to, the way the body is mandated to, because that's its work. So they're supposed to govern, to regulate, to form policies that protect artists, whereby if your song is played anywhere, you get some royalties. No artist would go hungry. But you see, that is not the case. The leadership of MCSK is a mess. Yeah, starting from the one and only who is leading. Let me just because I I'm becoming emotional. Yeah, it's starting to irritate me.
So you think that they're the only people who can make the turnaround of the music
They
space,
they
so
have
that
the mandate.
it becomes accommodative for all artists?
Yes, they have the mandate. They have the powers. They have everything. All it takes to make things to turn around. But you see, they're not doing their job. They're just staying there eating artists' money, yeah, and growing their bellies. Yeah. Like whenever I think about these issues, I can slap anyone like anytime. I don't like I feel so bad.
So you as an individual, in your head, I believe you picture a typical good, you know, condition for artists. Like, which case study do you envision, like as part of the world, or an artist, or any country that does music in the manner that you want Kenya to copy from? That you say, whatever they do, I think we can do what they do, or whichever artist you admire, how, maybe his or her management works, and decide that, or conclude in your head that, if we emulate what happens on the other side, then we can be a better country in terms of music.
The only country or place Kenya can emulate, because I wouldn't say Africa, maybe South Africa, but globally,
Why South Africa?
South Africa, they have proper governing principles where you find artists are getting money out of what they make, the music they make, highly recognizable, and there are so many platforms to skyrocket a musician's career. Yeah, and you get royalties and you get a lot of money from it. But if we only emulated how the US operates, the US system is very clear. No one will steal your money unless you signed a split sheet that guarantees you little money. But if it is your money, it is being played in whatever platform, then you're guaranteed your money will keep, regardless of whether you're in prison or where, your royalties and your money will still be checking in. Yeah.
So there's a country called Jamaica.
Yes.
I hope you know the country.
I know Jamaica.
The population of Jamaica is about roughly 3 million.
Yes.
But then growing up, we used to listen to a lot of artists from Jamaica, in campus, wherever, and up to date.
Yeah.
And given the population, because I would want to count maybe sometimes royalties, if within a country's borders, it should be about the numbers. Yeah. But then here comes a scenario where we grew up listening to a lot of Jamaican artists. The country is small population. It's like everybody's singing in that country. Everybody's an artist in that country. So I would want to put Jamaica in the same group as Kenya, because I don't want to compare Kenya and the US, because the US is another level. So let me compare Kenya to Jamaica. We have a relatively higher population, a stable economy, a good one to be precise. Maybe I think we are fourth or third in Africa after South Africa and Nigeria and Egypt. And Jamaica is really a relatively small country, and it's a country that has been faced with gangs, cartels, political instability over the years. But then, if today you ask anybody to at least mention a few artists that they listen to the most, you will get some key or top Jamaican artists in that list. And they boom globally. They grow out of their country. They go to the US, they make concerts there, something that not many Kenyan artists do. So comparing that with Kenya, what do you think? Is it the condition that the Jamaican government has put conducive for the Jamaican artists? Because the country is relatively small, and I believe we are better than them in everything. If it is infrastructure, if it is a setup of any conducive environment. So what is it, if we compare it with Kenya, that they're doing different? Because to be honest, they have a lot of artists and most genres. You talk of reggae, we know it, Jamaica with reggae. Dancehall, they are really doing well. R&B, there are a few artists there. So what do you think is that environment like? What are they doing that maybe we are not doing? And they are a third world country, and they're really doing it best at music specifically.
So to answer your question, Jamaica exports its music globally. That's why you are able to hear and listen to reggae music, dancehall, etc. But now, if you went to Jamaica, will it be the same story there that the Kenyan music is playing there?
It is not.
Because we've not exported our music
So
to
that
the outside world.
what is limiting the export of music?
Because
I believe as an artist, you just don't want your songs to be within them.
Of course.
You want it to go.
Of
In
course.
fact, the better it goes outside there,
Yeah.
the more happier you will be, or the more rewarded you will be.
I think people are very comfortable here in Kenya. Musicians are very comfortable. While let's not even let's leave Jamaica even for a while. Let's come to Nigeria. It's in Africa and even South Africa. People are going an extra mile to the extremes because for your remember I told you one thing. There's having the song and there's marketing it. So how do you market your song to the global market for other audiences to hear what you guys manufacture as a song, your heritage, because people need to understand, and that's why Afrobeats has been marketed to the global market because of Nigerians. Yeah, if you go to the US and ask them, do you know any song from that has Afrobeats or in the Afrobeats genre, they will tell you yes. And why? Because the Nigerian musicians understood for us to be marketable and to pop out in the global market, we have to go to those markets and market ourselves there. There's no way you'll market yourself in the outside world while you're seated here.
Yeah.
You have to travel there, make interviews, interact with other musicians, pay for collaborations, and you're not paying a small amount. Yeah. So you can imagine the amount of money P Square paid Rick Ross to collaborate in that song. Yeah. The amount of money they paid T.I. The amount of money Wizkid paid Chris Brown.
They did the video. Beyonce.
Yeah. So you pay a lot of money. These people, and that's why I'm telling you, it's a very expensive affair. A lot of money. And even that, there is money you will give them and they'll still refuse. So your management has to have a very strong PR team to sell your name out there for these people to understand, yes, we need to collab with this. They also need to hear your catalog. What music have you done? How have you been performing in your shows? You get? So it's a whole mix of so many parameters. So you have to be there literally to market, and that's how Nigerians have beaten us in the game. They've won so many Grammys. Yeah.
But is there a scenario where you are so good that a big artist, say like Jay-Z, doesn't have to pay you? They just want to have you in their project. They just want to give you a collab.
You have to be super good. You see,
all for free. They can give you that platform.
Yes, they can. Of course they can. You have to be very good. You see, an example is Rima. You spoke about Rima.
Yeah.
So that song that he didn't make a lot of money with, all right, Selena Gomez took the song, did a collab with him, rebuilt the song again with Rima as a collab. That song sold millions, right?
It was a remix.
Yes, it was a remix. It sold and it put Rima now on the map again. So Rima has enjoyed a lot of money and so many royalties. Another thing with the Americans, if you sample their beat, they will come for you. You will definitely have to pay. So if you sample a beat and it is mine, you have to pay me royalties. Take an example. Burna Boy sampled Tony Braxton's song. Wasn't a man enough for me. That beat is sampled from Tony Braxton's song. For Burna Boy's song. Which song is it? I can't recall the song, but there's a song that Burna Boy sampled a beat from Tony Braxton. There is an agreement, a full agreement. The amount of money he makes through that song, there are royalties, money that is paid to Tony Braxton.
So you can approach an artist, a big artist, to ask their permission to sample their song.
Yes.
And you pay.
Yes, and you pay them. Yeah.
Nice.
Because chances are that beat is the one that will sell your song, not even the words that you're singing there. Yeah, it has happened to so many people.
And what happens with this cover music? You see, like artists like there are two Jamaican artists. There is Roman Vago and Chris Martin. When they were starting way before, most of their songs were like covers of old. So like, Let Her Go by Passenger. Passenger. Yeah. Like I believe they blew because of singing the covers of songs of the past. So and you realize some of those artists, they sang their songs before they died.
Yeah.
And so what is that agreement like?
So sometimes it's not an agreement because it is also not a song that you would say you are entitled to. You will not make money out of it. It will always remain a cover song. So when I hear a cover song, I'll first pause and go back to the original song.
And what is the original is bad because somebody like Chris Martin has made the song so good that you ignore the initial one, because the initial one is so okay. Unless you were born in that age, you will enjoy it. But when you listen to Chris Martin's version, at least it is having some good vibe somewhere.
Okay, sometimes it depends, but mostly it won't be the case. Most of the original songs are truly good, unless it's a remix. A cover song is also something that is not done with the seriousness that it deserves. So if it was a remix, however, most remixes get better than the original one. Yeah.
So what advice can you give to any young upcoming artist with all the discussions that they've had about making it in the industry? So what can you tell them if whoever wants to start from point A today?
So first of all, I don't want to scare them or even to make them feel like it's a hard industry to get into. All I want to say is you have to be very prepared, resource-wise, money-wise, because it's an investment. It's like starting a business and you don't have capital. So how do you start? You want to have a car wash. To start a car wash business, where will you get the money to buy the water pumps? Exactly, to prepare the area where the cars will be coming to be. So you need money. Let no one lie to you that you can walk to any studio and just do music. You need money. Yeah. So if you are well connected, well and good, but you also need to connect with DJs, to connect with media personalities, and all this requires money. Yeah.
Okay, nice. So I hope they hear that. Yeah. And
I hope so.
Yeah. So what's your closing remark? Your parting shot.
My parting shot, maybe I can do for you.
For me or for them?
Yeah, for the audience. Yeah. You see, someone might doubt whether I really churn out music, and I can sample for them some freestyle. Yeah, I can freestyle for them a little bit. Yeah,
just 1 minute of freestyle.
Yeah, some lines here and there.
The platform is yours.
It is, eh?
Yeah.
The stage is mine.
Yeah, the stage is yours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, wananitanga J haka kamutu ndo jina yangu. Yeah, man. Look, let me leave you with one verse to bless you guys. It's really been awesome. Thanks, man. Haya maisha tunayoishi ni matamu, tukijifunza kulaza kwetu na kuzikusanya kuzisundanga, ndio mtindo kila saa. Napiga mikakati na kupita kati yao, kuna vijana wanajifanya wanatalana na wameparara, wanategeanga topics za kutrend wapate form. Ndio time yao kwenda home na macraving zao za mandom. Kitu cha kwanza ni kujikaza na kurudi shule. Hold up, tuna pay tribute. It's a national disaster, ni havoc. Hii ni death of a moment of silence. Cut. Wagwan.